Welcome to class 3 of TCS NQT Rapid Revision Series. Today we are going to discuss data sufficiency, syllogisms, pattern. In pattern, we are going to discuss letter pattern, word pattern, and symbol pattern. So without any delay, let us start with our first question. So this is a question of your data sufficiency. So there is a question given and there are two statements. And using these two statements, you have to answer this question. Instead of directly answering, you have to say whether we can answer this question with the help of these two statements. So let us look into the question first. So the question is, how is Tanya related to the man in photograph? Let us assume that the man in the photograph is X. Man in the photograph is X. So let us assume this thing first. Okay. So now they are saying that this person X, the man in the photograph, is the only son of Tanaya's grandfather. Okay, so the man in the photograph is X, and the man in the photograph is the only son, is the only son of Tanya's grandfather. Fine. So now there are a few questions. Can we say that how X is related to Tanya? So there are few possibilities. If X does not have any brothers or sister, then X will be father of Tanya. If and only if G does not have any daughters. It is said that X is only son of G. So if G does not have any daughters, then Tanya is daughter of X or X is father of Tanya. But on the other hand, if G has a daughter, say suppose G is a daughter, has a daughter, let us suppose A, then Tanya will be niece of X or X will be paternal uncle. Sorry, maternal uncle. So there are two possibilities. First, from the first statement, there are two possibilities. X might be the father of Tanya or X might be maternal uncle of Tanya because G might have multiple daughters and Tanya might be daughter of G's daughter. So the first statement is inconclusive to say the relationship between Tanya and the person in the photograph. But when we look at the second statement, the man in the photograph has no brothers or sisters, and his father is Tanya's grandfather. So the man in the photograph X have no brother or no sister, and Tanya's grandfather is his father. So Tanya's grandfather is his father. So in a way, X is father of Tanya. So from this second statement, we can conclusively say, or we can conclusively conclude that the relationship between X and Tanya is of father and daughter. So now let's see the given options. One alone is sufficient while two alone is not sufficient. So this is wrong. Two alone is sufficient while one alone is not sufficient. This is our correct result. Either one or two is sufficient. No, this is a wrong option. Neither 1 nor 2 is sufficient. This is also wrong. Both 1 and 2 are sufficient. This is also wrong. So from this above statements, we can conclude that we can find the relationship between Tanya and X using statement 2. We are going to go to a similar question like this. How many children are there in the row of children facing north? Okay. So now let us look into the situation here. Vishaka, who is fifth from left end, and eight to the left of Ashish, who is 12th from the right end. So let us imagine that this is our left hand side and this is our right hand side, and all the students are facing towards this direction, and this will be our north direction. Now it is saying that Vishaka, who is fifth from the left hand, Vishaka is fifth from the left hand. That means 1, 2, 3, and 4. This will be the position of Vishaka, and is 8 to the left of Ashish. 8th to the left of Ashish. Now, Vishaka, who is fifth from the left hand, is 8th to the left of Ashish. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and this will be your Ashish. So if you look, Vishaka is one, first place, second place, third place, fourth place, fifth place, sixth place, seventh place. I think I missed one place here. So I will just remove this thing now. And this is Ashish. So this is first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, and eighth. Vishaka is eighth to the left of Ashish, who is 12th from the right hand. That means there are 11 more students here. So from this particular statement, can we guess how many students are there? So there will be 4 students here, there will be 7 students here, and there will be 7 students here, and there will be 11 students. So this will be 11 plus 7 plus 4. 11 plus 7 plus 4, that gives us 22, plus Ashish and Vishaka are also standing on the line. So we will add plus 2 with it and we will get 24. So using this first statement, we can guess how many students are there in a particular row. Now let us go to the second statement. Rohit is fifth to the left of Nisha. So we have Nisha here, and Rohit is fifth to the left of Nisha. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and here it is Rohit, who is seventh from the right end. So that means there are 6 students here, and 8 from the 18th from the left hand. So there are total of 17 students at the left of Nisha. So what we can understand, there are 17 students on the left of Nisha, and there are 6 students to the right of Nisha, and Nisha is currently standing here. So how many students will be there? So there will be 17 plus 6 and plus 1. So that gives us 24. So from this second statement also, we can find the total number of students who are standing on a row. Now the point is that this actually does not require, we can just find the number of students standing in the row from this particular statement. Nisha, who is 7th from the right end and 18th from the left hand. So both of these statements helps us to understand or help us to find out how many students are standing on a line. So 1 alone is sufficient while 2 alone is not sufficient. This is a wrong answer. 2 alone is sufficient while 1 alone is not sufficient. This is also wrong. Either 1 or 2 is sufficient. We can use either the first statement, we can use either the second statement. Both of the statements helps us to reach the conclusion correctly. Neither it is wrong. We don't require both of these statements together. So option number E is also wrong. Option number A is also wrong. And option number A is also wrong. So either one or either two is sufficient for us to get the correct result. So I hope this question was clear to you. Let us go to the next question. There was another question. Also find the number of students are there in a row. So there are 24 students standing on the row that we found using this particular two statement. This was not the part of the actual question. I just added this part of the question as an exercise for you to practice. Now let us go to the third question. Who is the immediate right of P among the 5% P, Q, R, S, T? Who is immediate right of P? So what do we know is that this is the left hand side and this is the right hand side. Okay, and there are total 5 places to fill because we have P, Q, R, S, and T. So 1 place, 2 place, 3 place, 4 place, and 5th place. Now let us look into the first statement. R is third. R is third to the left of Q. So this is Q here, and R is third to the left of Q. So 1, 2, and 3. R is third to the left of Q, and P is second to the right of R. Second to the right of R. So second to the right of R is going to give us like 1, 2, P is second. This is left hand side direction, and this will be your right hand side direction. R is third to the left of Q. R is third to the left of Q. So if we do this thing, we will get this thing. So R and P is second to the right of R. So this will be 1 and 2. So P will come here. So this is the result from your first statement. Understood? Let us go to the second statement. Q is immediate left of T. Q is immediate left of T. Q is immediate left of T, so T will come here and Q will come here. Who is second to the right of P? Who is second to the right of P? Who is second to the right of P? T is second to the right of P. So this is first, this is second. So P will come here. So what do we have? We have this from the second statement. Now the first statement gives us R, there will be a person here, then there will be P, and there will be another person Q. And the second statement gives us P, Q, and T. Now the question was who is immediate right of P? So immediate right of P is Q here. Immediate right of P is Q here. So the answer to this question is Q. And from the first statement, we are getting this thing. And from the second statement, we are getting this thing. So using both of these statements, we are able to reach the correct answer. So the question is either 1 or 2 is sufficient to answer this question, and all the other options are incorrect. Now let us think. So there is an extra question added here. Also find the arrangement of P, Q, R, S, and T. So R space P, Q, and we know that that is R, there will be a space, and there will be P, there will be Q, and there will be T. So there are total 5 places filled up. So I will just write them here. So there will be R, there will be a blank space, then there will be P, then there will be Q, and there will be T. Now, out of this 5%, I have decided the place for P, I have decided the place for Q, I have decided the place for R, but I haven't decided the place for S. And it is surely visible that S will be placed here, and I also have decided the place for T. So the final arrangement of the students standing in a row will be R, S, P, Q, and T. This will be your leftmost side, and this will be your rightmost side, and Q is immediate right of P. So I hope this was clear to you. Now let us go to the fourth question. Fourth question is a similar question. So in data sufficiency question, you can see that you are getting all kinds of logical questions that you have already done. You have done the arrangement question, you have done the linear arrangement, you have done the circular arrangement, you have done the blood relation question. So these are the questions are again that are coming in a data sufficiency question. So now let us go to this question. How is T related to K? How is T related to K? So I will try to answer this question by just looking at the statements here. R's sisters J, R's sister J. So we have a person R and his sister J. Okay. So what we have is R's sisters J and T's brother L. So we have another person T and its brother L. So brother, uh, who is the our sister J? Our sister J has married to T's brother L, and they are married with each other. Married to each other. Now, as because J is a sister, so the gender of J is female and the gender of L is male. Who is the only son of his parents? So, who is the only son? Our sister's J has married to T's brother L. T's brother L, who is the only son of his parents. Now, K is the only. I will come to this statement a little bit later. So now the second statement is K is the only daughter of L and J. So K is the daughter of L and J. So how T is related to K? How T is related to K? Now here it is. Who is the only son of his parents is married to T's brother L. So L is the only son of his parents. So the gender of T is female and gender of R is not identified or not clear from the question, and gender of K is female because K is daughter of J and L. Now, how is T related to K? T is T is paternal aunt, or you can say that T is aunt of K. Now, to find out that T is aunt, we have to use both of these statements. Why? Because in the first statement there is no mention of K, and in the second statement there is no mention of T. and we get the cumulative, or we get the bigger picture if and only if we look at the two statements together. So, one alone is not sufficient, two alone is not sufficient, either of them is not sufficient, neither of them is also not sufficient. Both one and two are sufficient to answer this question. So, I hope this question was clear to you. And if I am not wrong, we did a similar question in a blood relation when we are doing this topic in this 15 days TCS NQT series. So if you haven't watched that series, please go back. And in that particular series, I have discussed each of the parts in a very, very deep manner. So now let us go to the second question, fifth question rather. This is a question of syllogisms. So there are few statements given, and on the basis of these statements alone, no other statements should be considered. On the basis of these statements alone, you have to check out of which of the conclusions follow. So as to use this particular statement, we are going to use Venn diagrams. And when you're using the Venn diagrams, remember, mark the only part in the question that is mentioned. Mark the only part that is mentioned. Okay? Don't mark anything else. Only mark the part that is mentioned and don't mark anything else. So now let us look into the statements. So the first statement says, some rats are cats. So we have one circle representing all the rats, and we have another circle representing all the cats. So this circle represents rats, and this circle represents cats. Some cats are dogs. So there is another circle, and that represents dogs. And there is another circle for cow, and it says that no dog is a cow. So I will mark cow here. Now there are few things that you have to think. Is there any overlap between cat and dog? I'm not sure of that. So I'm not marking it. Is there any overlapping between rats and cats? It is not mentioned in the question. Do not mark it. So, this is our final scenario. So, there are some rats who are cats, and there are some cats who are dogs. So, these are the intersection or overlapping. That means this all the rats in this particular overlapping are cats, and all the cats in this overlapping are dogs, and no dog is a cow. So I have marked the only part that is mentioned in this question. I haven't added any information from my side, or I haven't assumed anything. Now, no cow is cat. No cow is cat. Can you say this for sure? Because we don't know how much overlapping there is. It is not mentioned in the question. We also don't know if there is any overlapping or not. So this is inconclusive. So this cannot be concluded. No dog is rat. Again, we don't know the overlapping of cow and rat, and we don't know how much this both will be overlapped. So this is also deleted. Some cats are rats. Yes, some cats are rats. So this can be concluded. So from the three given conclusion here, only three can be concluded satisfactorily, and else cannot be concluded. So the correct answer or the correct result is option number E, that is only third conclusion can be concluded for sure. Let us try another question. So we are going to mark the only part that is mentioned in the question and nothing more. Some journals are books. Some, sorry, all books are papers. So we have books, and so this is all books, and all books are papers. So this is for books, and this is for papers. So all books are papers. Some papers are journal. So I'm going to just mark the portion that is told in the question. So some papers are journal. So this represents your journal. I'm not sure about this overlapping. Some journals are calendars. So some journals are calendars. So I have marked the only parts. I have marked the only parts that is mentioned in the question and nothing more. I don't know anything about their overlapping. I don't know if calendars will overlap with books, papers, or anything else or not. So whatever it is mentioned in the question, I have given here. Now let us read the conclusion. Some journals are books. Yes, some of the journals are books. Okay, I cannot say this for sure because I don't know about this degree of overlapping. So this is eliminated. Some calendars are papers. Again, this cannot be said for sure because we don't know the degree of overlapping between the papers and the calendars from the given statement. So this is also eliminated. Some books are journal. Okay, again I don't know this degree of overlapping, so this is also eliminated. Some books are calendars. Again, I'm telling you again and again, this overlapping is not carefully mentioned. So all these conclusions cannot be concluded from the given statements given here. So the correct answer will be none of the four. So, what is the basic rule of syllogism? Mark the only statements that is given in the question. Do not mark anything more. Do not assume anything more. Do not provide any information from your own side. Let us try another question. All bottles are boxes. All bottles are boxes. So we have bottles and we have boxes. So this stands for bottles and this stands for boxes. So all of the bottles are boxes. All boxes are bags. All boxes are bags. So bags is again going to be a superset of boxes. So this will represent your bags. Some bags are trays. So I will take another smaller part and I will just overlap with bags because I don't know if trays are going to overlap with boxes or bottles or not. So I will write here this circle stands for trays. So let us go to the statements again. All bottles are boxes. All boxes are bags. Some bags are trays. Now, some bottles are trays. I cannot say this for sure. Some trays are boxes. I cannot say this for sure. All bottles are bags. Yes, all of the bottles are bags. I can say this. Some trays are bags. I can also say this. So the statement number 3 and 4, actually it is written here ABC. This will be your statement number 1. This will be statement number 2. This will be statement number 3. And this will be statement number 4. So from the given information here, only statement number 3 and 4 can be concluded. So this is our final result. Okay. So now that we are done with this, let us go to another question of syllogism. Some cars are jeeps. So there are cars and there are jeeps. This circle stands for cars and this circle stands for Jeep. All boxes are Jeep. So there is another smaller circle. Let us mark it blue. So these are the boxes, and all the boxes are Jeep. And all pens are car. So there are another smaller one. So this will be pens. Now, I don't know how much they are overlapping with each other. If pens and boxes are overlapping, if pens and jeeps are overlapping, I don't know. And the overlapping cannot be concluded. So I have marked the only things that is mentioned in the question. Now, let us go to, sorry. Some cars are boxes. Some cars are boxes. I cannot say this. No pen is jeep. Again, I cannot say this. Some boxes are cars. I also cannot say this. So out of these three conclusion, none of the conclusion can be concluded concretely. So the answer will be none of the three. This is your correct answer, and all the other options will be deleted or eliminated. So I hope this was clear to you. So this was your syllogism. So what is the rule of your syllogism? Mark the only part that is mentioned, and this should be your first rule. And your second rule should be, do not assume anything. Don't assume. Don't assume anything. Fine. So now, uh, let us go to this number pattern question. So this is your figure pattern question. So you have to fill this particular blank with a particular figure. So now let us see. I will just change my color. Okay. So there is one arrow here, and this arrow is slightly bending, then another bending, then another bend, then another bend, then another bend. And they are saying what will be the symbol that will come in place of question mark. So let us assume our minute hand. So minute hand is at 12, then this minute hand will be at 5, this minute hand will be at 15. So this is your first, this is your second, this is your third. Then minute hand will be in 20. That is your fourth pattern, first pattern, second pattern, third pattern, fourth pattern. Then after 20, minute hand will be at 30. That is your fifth pattern. Then after 30, the minute hand will be at 35. This will be a sixth pattern. First pattern, second pattern, third pattern, fourth pattern, fifth pattern, sixth pattern, and the seventh pattern will be at 45 minutes. So this will be your seventh pattern. So out of these given options, this can be eliminated straight away because we do not have any double-headed arrows here. This is eliminated, and we already have another top arrow here. This is eliminated, this is eliminated, and we are left with only this option. So this is your correct result here. Now let us go to another question. So now they're saying that you have to find the next figure. Now let us look into these two figures. So like this is laying horizontally, and these two are laying vertically. So now we can see here, or we can find a pattern is that these are facing each other, and this is facing away from each other, and like they have the same direction, and they have the same direction. So now we can guess that whatever that will come here will have face towards this one and this one. So they will face each other, they will face away from each other. Now, they will have the same face. So this will be like this, and this will be opposite. So this will be like this. So this will be joined. So the final result will be a pattern like this. And out of this given option, only fourth option seems to be the correct one, and everything will be eliminated. Like we cannot see from the given figures that both of the symbols are just like overlapping with each other. This is cancelled, this is cancelled. Let us look here. Now, if we place it here, this symbol will be looking like this. Like we have this thing, then we have this thing, and then we have this thing, and then we have this thing. So like they have to face each other, and they will be at the extreme end. So this is also eliminated, and our final result is this one. Okay, so now this was your figure pattern. Now let us look into this question. I chose this question because this question is little bit ambiguous, and instead of selecting the correct answer, you have to eliminate all the wrong answers. So now let us look into the series that we have. We have A, then we have 5, then we have Y, then we have 4, B, and then we have X, C, 6, and then we have W, 3, D, and then we have a blank. So in this particular blank, you can assume that there will be two letters. So first letter and second letter. So the first thing we should do is try to guess the letter. So Z minus 1 is Y, y minus 1 is x, and x minus 1 is w, and w minus 1 will be v. That is v w x y z. Fine. And the second letter will be a, plus 1 is b, b plus 1 is c, and c plus 1 is d, and d plus 1 will be e. Now that we have put on these two letters, let us look into our viable answers. E cannot come before V, so this is eliminated, and we have these three options. Now let us see. In the first result, 5 comes at the second letter, then uh, 4 comes at the first letter, then 6 comes in the second letter, then first letter. So it is viable to assume that whatever number there will be, it will come here in the second letter. So there will be no letter in the first, there will be no number in the first letter. So this can be eliminated. Now we have two probable answers. We have 5, then we have 4, then we have 6, and then we have 3, and then we have to fill in another number. Now, if you think carefully, this number is like it is going in a random fashion as far as I can see here. 5 has already occurred in the series, so this can be very well eliminated. So we are left with only 7, so it will be VE7. VE and 7. So this will be your final result. So we have eliminated all the improbable options and hope that whatever remains is our correct answer. So now that we are done with this, let us go to another question. What we have is ELFA. So we have E, then L, F, and A. So then we have G, L, H, A. Then we have I, L, J, A. Then we have a word 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then we have M, L, N, A. So the result will also be a four-letter word. So let us think what we can do here. We can see L here, we can see L again here, and we can see L again here, and there will be another unknown character here, and again L in this last word. So we can assume that L will come here. Now we can see A here, and we can see A here. We can also see A in the last thing. So we can assume that A will come here. So out of this option, second should be L and the last should be A. Second is L and the last one is A. Second is L, last one is A. Second is L, last one is A. And second is L and last one is A. So all the options are still selected and none of them are deleted. Now, let us see. We have E here. Where am I? Where is my cursor? Okay. So we have E here. E plus 2 is G. G plus 2 is I plus 2, if we follow this pattern, will be K, and K plus 2 is L. Similarly, we have F plus 2 H, H plus 2 Z, J, J plus 2 is again L, and L plus 2 is L, N. So the correct option is K, L, L, A. So most of the students, what they will do is that whenever they have found K, L space A, they will automatically tick this one because they will think that no two letters can repeat adjacent to each other. So they will tick this one and they will get the answer wrong. So I would suggest that first complete the pattern, and whatever is your final result should be your option selected. So first, with every letter, eliminate all the options that are not possible. Then from the left one, from the left options, first complete the word, then look in the left options that if you are getting the correct result or not. So this was a question from your word pattern. So I hope you have enjoyed my class today. Tomorrow I will come with more questions. Uh, Tomorrow I have planned to work on questions from work and time, ratio and proportion. I will also work on allegations and mixtures, then finding the day of the date and finding the angle of the clock, and some simple questions from area, shapes and perimeter. So I hope you will join me tomorrow in this revision class. So thank you. Bye bye. And before I finish up this video, you can find our materials at www.campusprep.com. You can also join the Telegram group so as to communicate with me directly. And if you have any doubts or any rectification in the materials that I have taught you, please communicate with me directly and I will correct my mistakes. You can also join our Facebook and Instagram page for our continuous update. So that's it for tomorrow. Bye bye. Have a nice day ahead. Thank you.